Okay, so here she is, our prepared background. And the girl, again, I put her on the scanner, I scanned her in, just reduced her in size a little bit in Photoshop, and yeah, printed her out on some heavyweight printer paper. This is like a 160 gram, so it's just a little more heavyweight than the normal printer paper. And next thing I will do, I will just cut her out. Okay, so now that I've cut her out, I will use my gel medium again to collage her onto the background. And as you can see, I just teared the bottom edges. This is just because I kind of like this look better than this straight cut line. And I think I will even put her down here so that I can kind of wrap the edges around the corner of the canvas. Like that. So that it doesn't look like her arms are just cut off. You know, I kind of like to overlap the content around the edges. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to collage her down, and then we can go on with the background. And again, I will just use my gel medium and my foam brush. I'm going to apply it to the back of the image. Just make sure you get every spot covered, because yeah, we don't want any air bubbles. So already add a good amount to the back of the image, and then I will just flip it over and apply it to my canvas like that. Press it down firmly, and I'm again adding some gel medium on top as well, just because it kind of brings the fore and the background together, and it's just easier to really get all the bubbles out without destroying your image. I'm really trying to squeeze out all the gel medium from underneath so that there are no bubbles or wrinkles later. I mean, texture is good, and if there are any bubbles, it's not a big deal, but yeah, I kind of like to have it really nice and flat, especially the focal point. Alright, so we're gonna let this dry, and then we can start to add some fun texture to the background. Okay, now the next part is super fun, but also super messy. So first gonna take my rings off. So what you will need. I mentioned before we're going to use some textile hardener to create some fun texture in the background. What you will need is a bowl and some textile hardener. This is a Powertex medium, which is a fabric hardener. This is by a Belgium brand. But I've checked, you can also get it in America, Canada, so actually all over the world. So just check out for Powertex. But again, there's also other brands out there for textile hardener. And this is just a transparent one. And I'm going to mix this textile hardener with some pigments. These are Power Color pigments. I have a purple, a lilac, and a burgundy. Actually, two hues which are kind of nicely matching my background or my color scheme. So that's what we're going to use, and we're going to use some fabric, of course. You can actually use any type of fabric. I've got some, this is just a cotton, it's mull, it is called. It's like from, you can buy this in the craft store, but also you can use the stuff like you use for bandages if you have, you know, a wound, stuff like that, which works really well. You could also just use plain cotton like from an old t-shirt or something, but I kind of like the texture this gives me because of this netting structure. So I'm using this, and I have some of this nature fiber paper stuff. I kind of like to tear this into small pieces to add texture to the background. This is also from a craft supply store. And I have an old crocheted, my gosh, that's a difficult word. Like a tiny blanket, a table blanket, tablecloth, which my mother made many years ago, and she has many of them in the attic. So when I told her about this technique a couple of weeks ago, she went and looked for some of them, because she's never going to use them again, all of them, because again, like I think it's 20 years ago or something, if I remember that right, she was all into doing those little handwork things. Yeah, but they kind of got out of style. Well, she has still some lying around, but not that many. So before they kind of catch even more dust in the attic, she gave me some for my project, and I kind of like this one. I think I will just put it somewhere down here to have this kind of line here. Something like that, I think. I will see. And yeah, I will color some with a pigment. And I think I'm gonna leave this one white, just for some contrast. Maybe. Not sure yet. So this is a process for me. As always, I usually don't really plan a lot. So let's get started. I would suggest if you have to wear some gloves, if you don't like to get your hands dirty. I don't mind, so I'm not going to wear any gloves, but just a suggestion. So I will just pour some of this Powertex medium. Again, again I can't open the bottle. Okay, here I am. And I will just pour some of this into this bowl. And I will get started, let's say, yeah, with the purple, and then I can add some of the burgundy to make it a little more of a berry tone. And I will just pour a good amount of it into the liquid, and then just I will use my fingers right away because they will get messy anyway, so I can jump right in, but I will just tear some of those pieces for me to use so that I don't have to tear them later. So let's get started. I will just grab a piece of this netting. I will just use this to mix that up. Just make sure you really mix it well, so you have the color in there and that the fabric is nicely soaked with the fabric hardener, like that. I also kind of like it if some areas are still left white, so I will just use it as it is. And as you can see, this is quite messy, so again, make sure you are not wearing your best clothes, and also make sure that you've kind of covered your work surface. And then I will just put that onto my canvas, and I will make sure to really leave some texture, so things like that, they're supposed to stay like that. I can even, so I will not spread it out completely, because again, I really want this texture. Like that. I will just wrap it around the edges. And the fun thing about this, of course, the fabric hardener really makes it, when it's dry, it's completely hard. Yeah, like the name says. It does make sense, definitely. And it really is an amazing effect. You get lots of three-dimensional texture into your project. And that's why I really try to keep all those wrinkles, and I don't flatten them out, because they are in the end the most fun. So really try to leave a lot of texture in there, like that, for example. Then I will add a little bit of the burgundy, just adding it to this. And I will use those pieces, and I will just soak them with the fabric hardener and the pigments as well. As you can see, I'm just squishing and squeezing it like that, and then I'm just reopening it. Let's see where I'm gonna put that. Maybe down here, wrapping it around the edges like that. Let's grab another piece. Maybe let's put that up here. And I'd like to have a little more texture down here. Like that. I'm not even sure if I add this crocheted thing. Oh, I'll just see. Wait and see. First I'm gonna let this dry, and then I can still decide whether I want it to go on there or not. I'll just mix a little more. So now all we gotta do is let it dry. I just gotta decide if I still want the white blanket on there or not. Okay, so I decided just to leave this crocheted blanket away in this case, because it just kind of would be too much and would take away too much of my background. Yeah, so this is still wet. Just put it on like 5 minutes ago. And now this has to dry. I will speed it up with my heat gun again. Usually it dries pretty fast. When I first tried this, I thought this might take hours to dry, but actually that doesn't. So I'll just use my heat gun to kind of air dry it, and then we can go on. Okay, so this is not really dry completely, but just the surface is quite dry yet. First I would like to bring a little bit of the pink and white back into the play again, because I kind of covered up a lot of the pink, which I kind of miss right now. So what I will do again is I will use my pink distress paint, and I will just use my brush again to bring some of the pink back into the game in some areas. Like that. For example, again, just all added in a very random way with no rhyme or reason. And let's get some white on here as well, using my white distress paint in the brush and doing the same thing. And again, I will use a little bit of water and let it run down. This time I won't use my spray bottle, but I will just use a brush with some water, just to be have a little more control over how much the colors run and where they run. I know this, you can't see anything right now, but I just have to lift that up in order to be able to do what I am doing. So so I'm just adding a little bit of water with my brush and let the colors kind of run and do a little bit of their own thing. Just want to make sure that the colors don't run into her face, because that's not what I want. So random is good, but just to a certain amount, so not too random. Still want to have a little bit of control over where my colors go. Okay, like this. I'm gonna dry this again real quick. Okay, so this is dry, and next let's do something really fun, which I really love. It's really like a wow effect. I'm using some Inca Gold. I have like the gold one and the purple one and a turquoise. Also like a red, maybe because of the small circles. So kind of colors which match the color scheme I'm working in. And this, just open that again. If you have never before worked with Inca Gold, it's actually it's like a cream. As you can see, it's a creamy consistency, and it's really shiny. It's like a shiny cream stuff, and I just love to use my finger and rub it in, and especially on this heavy textured areas. This really gives a very cool effect. I'm not sure if the camera even gets close to getting that effect. I'm sure it doesn't, but it's amazing. It's really, if you see that in real life, it's really a wow effect, because it's so nice and shiny. And so it's not like glitter, because I'm kind of not so fond of glitter, which you have all over the place once you use it, but it's really just shiny. So it's awesome, and I just rub it in some areas. Like this purple one. And the larger the contrast is between the underground and the color you pick to apply, the better the effect is. Like right now I've just applied like purple on top of purple, which isn't that great, but you will see in a minute if I use this turquoise, for example, to bring it into some areas. The contrast is bigger and you will see more of the effect. Again, don't forget the sides. I always tend to forget the sides, so it's kind of reminding myself not to forget them. And let's add a little bit of the red. Just in some areas, because it's kind of matches the circle color in her face. And I'm kind of all about repetition of color, which is always a good thing. Okay, don't want to overdo it. And now the gold. I really like the effect of the gold the most, especially on those bulky areas. We want to add something else, even more sparkle. So again, this was the Inca Gold, and then there is the Maya Gold, which is also a very nice shimmery color, but in comparison to the Inca Gold, which is a cream, this is a more liquid color. Let's see which ones I want to use. Maybe this one. As you can see, this is really liquid and also has a very, very beautiful sparkle. So what I like to do with this is I'm just going to add some of it to the lid and add a little bit of water to it. Oops. So then it's a little more liquid. Could even add a little more. And then I just like to use it with my brush again to drop it on. Some smaller spritzes of color and some larger blobs, which way ever you like. I think I will want a little bit of it to be running down it also, so I will just pour some of it on here and then slightly tilt my canvas again. See, put that up a little. Love that. Okay, so this was the pink. Let's see, maybe some copper or some turquoise. Let's pick some copper. Don't want to bring too much of the turquoise into this. Don't want it to be too colorful. Doing the same again, putting a little bit of the paint into the lid and then watering it down with my brush and some water. Like that. Let's grab a brush. I'm just gonna and first I'm also again wanna add some splatters. Could also, of course, like rub it into those areas to kind of bring out the texture some more. So the possibilities actually are endless, especially on texture like that. And I will also get some of it running down from up here. Let's see. Need some more water here on this one, like that. All right. And don't be too afraid of it to run into the girl or into the face, because since we covered the face of the girl with gel medium, it actually can be wiped back off. So like for example, there's this little drop here, and as you can see, you can just easily wipe it back off because of the glossy gel medium we used to glue her down, like that. Okay, so this will need some drying time, and then we'll come back. And I think I definitely want to add some words to it, somewhere around here. And I don't know, since she's kind of looking up into this direction, and if I put my words here, I think I might add a little element up here, like a butterfly or something. Let's see. I will think about this for for a couple of minutes while this whole piece dries, and then we'll jump back in and see how we will finish this one off. Right, so this dried completely overnight, and as you can hear, it's really hardened out, and all this fabric is really 100% hard now, which gives an amazing texture on here. So well, I decided that I need something else to go on this canvas, because I kind of like it the way it is, so I don't want to cover up too much of the background. But you know, she's kind of like looking up, so I want something up here and some words on there. And I thought about kind of a butterfly flying up here would be cute. So I just printed a vintage image from a vintage imagery CD I own to kind of add this butterfly up here. I will alter the colors slightly to kind of match the background a little more. And I printed out two quotes. Not sure yet which one I want to go on here, but I think I will use this one. Okay, so I will just start by cutting this apart and by slightly altering the color of the butterfly. Let me just grab a piece of paper to put underneath. Let's see, I think I want to keep the yellow and the blue, maybe just alter the red slightly. So let's see, I think I would just grab this Maya Gold, the purple one, and use a brush with a little bit of water and then kind of slightly glaze this So I won't cover it up completely because I still want a little bit of the texture underneath to shine through. Just want to take back this bright red a little bit to make it match the background a little better. I think I will also add a little bit down here. Like that. And maybe let's use a little bit of copper as well. Okay. So we're gonna let this dry. I'm gonna put it aside. And next I'm just gonna cut out those words. I think I will choose this one. Life is a joy filled with delightful surprises. And I'm just gonna cut that into stripes. So I think I will add the words down here, somewhere, the butterfly up here. And now I'm going to alter those word stripes a little bit as well, because I don't want them to just, be plain white. And I will choose a little bit of the Distress Stain. This is the Aged Mahogany. Slightly applying it around the edges. And then I'm just kind of blending it with my fingers. Just want to have it to have kind of a little bit more of a distressed look. that. And let's add some shimmer as well. Let's see. Yeah, I think also some copper. I'm gonna water this down again because I don't want it to be kind of opaque, but rather like a glaze. I'm just applying some and then blending it with my fingers again. Like that. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but even if you use this like a glaze, it still leaves a very beautiful shimmer on here. Love that. Alright. Okay, so this butterfly is dried as well, so I'm gonna cut it out. Like that. So let's add a little color to the little antlers as well, like that. I think I will add a little bit more pink so that it's kind of a little lighter, popping off the background a little more. So let's see where it is. Using the Distress paint. Like that. And I might even add a little bit of white to make it pop even more. Just gonna let this pink dry. And I'm gonna use the white Distress paint to kind of just add a little bit white along the edges. So that it's not kind of melting into the background, but just comes up a little. And you know, by using white you kind of bring things further into the foreground. and darker things rather sink into the background. So white is always a good choice to make things a little more prominent in the foreground. So, there you go. As you can see, just the white around the outline of the butterfly kind of makes it pop up a little more. And here are my words, which will go somewhere around here, I think. Okay, so last but not least, I will glue down the butterfly and the words. And because of the very rough surface I'm going to glue it on, I will really need some dimensional glue. That's why I'm using the gel medium again. And I'm just applying it to the back of the butterfly, just in the center area, because I want the wings to kind of pop up. And I'm just applying a really thick coat so that all those wrinkles in here kind of don't have an effect, and I can still have it stick or get it stick to the canvas like that. And this way kind of the wings, you know, they kind of pop up and gives more of a 3D feeling to the canvas. And I will do the same with the words. Just use some of the gel medium and apply it to the back, and then I'm just gonna glue it down. Alright, that is it. Gonna let those words dry. And what I will do to kind of give more of a dimensional feeling to the top of the butterfly, I will just dab a little bit of the gel medium onto the wings. And since this will dry clear, and this is a semi-gloss gel medium, the colors will kind of become a little brighter, and the butterfly gets more like a glossy finish and a little bit more of a dimensional look. So I will just leave it like that to dry. And then we are done with our canvas with lots of shimmer, and I really love this color scheme, you know, those kind of brilliant colors and all the shimmer in here. You might be able to see it better in the close-up pictures I will add to the video. And you can also find the step-by-step instruction to this canvas in the Paper and Cotton magazine, which this project is created for. And I sure hope you enjoyed this tutorial, that you liked this article in the magazine, in the e-magazine. Yeah, hope you like my work in general. And I'm super happy and super proud to have been asked to be part of this issue of the Paper and Cotton magazine. Hope you liked it, and if you would like to, you know, learn more about the face drawing, because I didn't do any instruction to this in this video, because yeah, this would of course take much longer than just one short video. You might consider taking my Face Knitting Girls online class, which or where I show you how to create those faces, and the online class comes with some clear stamps of the facial features, of eyes, nose, lips, where you can start to create your faces with stamps, and once you feel confident you can jump in and yeah, draw them, sketch them yourself. So I think this is a nice starting point, especially for people who never done faces. So yeah, hope you liked it. Thanks so much for watching, and I would really love if you would kind of you know, follow me on Instagram or on Facebook to stay up to date with my work, if you like my work, if you enjoy my work, or follow me on YouTube, because yeah, that's, you are, you know, what I'm doing this for. Of course I would do art in no matter what, but of course it's so much more fun, you know, to get social and to share your work with people, and I'm so grateful to read again and again if people write me like that I inspired them to create something. Makes me so happy and makes me so grateful that yeah, that I'm allowed to share my art and that people are interested in my art. And oh, okay, I'm getting all teary right now. No, so thank you so much. Hope you liked it, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, thanks so much for watching.